Happy Monday, April 28th here. Thanks for joining us live at 9 o'clock every morning talking grain markets, livestock markets. Hope you guys had a great weekend here, wrapping up the month of April. Been a wet ending for a lot of people that needed some rain here. Let me know if you got some rain, how much rain you got over the last few days, if you're dry, if you're wet, if you're itching to get those planters back out in the field, or if you're ahead of pace. But we got crop progress out later today. That'll be a big one of the trades watch, and we'll dive into some headlines here in a second. But first, let's look at your markets and see where your grain markets are at. We got May corn down 5 cents here out of the gate on Monday, 4.73 3/4. New crop D's corn's down 7 3/4 at 4.48. May beans are down 7.5 at 10.42. New crop beans down 8 cents at 10.27. Soy oil is a little bit weaker, 30 cents weaker at 49.50. Soy meal is down 3.60 at 294.90. Looking over your wheat market, there's a lot of red on the screen there, and we're pushing lower. Chicago wheat is down 16.5 cents. KC wheat is down 16 cents. New crop July KC wheat is 5.35 3/4. Minneapolis wheat is down 11 cents here as well. Don't talk about mini spring wheat as much. Cotton's weaker, $1.20 weaker on new crop D's cotton at 68.76 after rallying up to 70 cents, but cotton giving a little bit back as well. The green on the screen, though, we can find it on your meat markets over in the cattle markets. We got feeder cattle. May feeders up $1.47 at 292. Your deferred contracts up $1.70 to $1. Looking over at live cattle are up 45 points. April is 214. June is 208.67. Cattle markets are off the highs a little bit, but they've given some of that back, but they're still firmer versus last week, and I believe many new contract highs there. Hog market, we got May hogs. I don't even know if May hogs are even relevant anymore, but up 10 cents at 92.90. June hogs are down 42 points at 172. Crude oil is 50 points weaker, 62.47 a barrel. Diesel's 2 cents firmer, 218.64. Nat gas is 12 cents firmer at 306. The Dow is 116 points higher at 40,370. The S&P is relatively flat, 5,548. The NASDAQ is down 50 points at 19,490. Bitcoin is down 1,100 at 95,000. Gold is up a little, silver's down a little, and the dollar is relatively stable. So that's a snapshot of your markets. I wish there was better news on the grain front. We had May options expiring on Friday. Sometimes the options expiration can provide a little undertone of support into the market as we see those calls and puts that are in the money, out of the money. They want the most of those positions to expire where the balance is of those. And we had a lot at the 480 strike, and here we are giving it back out of the gate on Monday morning. I think we printed a low on May corn of 469. Let me double check that. 469.5 on May corn here so far. Wheat's the story, though. A lot of rain, precip, moisture out here in the west, Oklahoma. We got more moisture in the west to come here as well. So pull this graphic in here. 7-day outlook from the WPC shows more moisture in the southern plains and some in the Dakotas as well. A lot of green out there too. Green's good. A half an inch, 3/4 of an inch is when you get into the blue areas. So good to see some moisture out there for those that need it. One thing I was looking at Nutrien, their morning market update video. I love watching that. Eric Snodgrass does a good breakdown. They had this graphic on their website. Looked at the 4 to 10 day precip anomaly forecast and relative anomaly. So maybe a drier window as we get into the east, further down as we get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th of May here towards the weekend. But more moisture in the plains remains active in the weekend. Another slug of moisture coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday out here in the plains as well. So we got crop progress out this afternoon. All eyes are going to be on planting progress. Last week, corn was 12% planted. The average increase is 12% on the week here. So 22, 24% would be an average type of pace we've seen. A lot in the trade are anticipating more to have been done. Last year, we were at 25%. So will we be 25+% planted on corn here this afternoon? We will see. The trade's going to be watching. The trade's going to trade it overnight. So watch your market reaction at 7 o'clock overnight. Beans were 8% last week. The average increase is 7%. 5-year average is 12%. Last year, we were at 17%. Will we see beans 15 to 20% planted? I don't know. Let us know in the comments where you're at with planting progress. If you got the crop in, if you're worried about getting it in going forward. But it's that time of year where the trade's watching what you're doing out there in the field. If you're listening, let us know where you're at. So, other thing we got going, what's caught my eye, one of my favorite parts of our ATI premium newsletter that goes out to premium subscribers and ATI customers, Dr. Schonkweiler put in what's caught my eye. Keeping an eye on trade negotiations here, clearing a path for U.S. beans. We got some significant tariff negotiations underway for several Asian destinations: India, Indonesia, Japan, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam. He notes in his What's Caught My Eye section that these 6 typically import an average of 12 million metric tons, 440 million bushels of beans annually. That's their 5-year average, with the U.S. supplying just short of half of that. So, key negotiations happening that could clear the path for key U.S. soybean demand down the road. We got some mixed signals in China right now. White House claiming that trade negotiation talks are underway, while the Chinese are failing to confirm that these negotiations are happening. So a bit of a chess match happening on that front. But China is, a very captive Brazil buyer for the near term. So, if there's a time for China to have a deal and talks with China, right now's that time, because they aren't in our markets right now. We know that. But going forward, longer term, it will become a more important issue, especially when we get those new crop beans out of the field. So, but lots going to change between now and then. We got a whole crop to plant. We got a couple harvests around the globe to get through, but we need to get to the bottom of those trade deals eventually. We need to. So, all right, one of the big headlines and why we got green on the screen in your feeder cattle market is the Mexican livestock import ban might just be back on the table. Secretary of Ag Brooke Rollins sent a letter to the Mexican counterpart over the weekend here, setting a deadline of April 30th for Mexico to address the issue, or USDA will restrict the imports of animal commodities, livestock, cattle, bison, equine, coming from Mexico in an effort to stop screwworm. We don't want to mess with that nasty bug. We don't want to mess with it again. We spent a lot of money in the 60s trying to eradicate it, and we don't want to deal with it again. Secretary Rollins also demanding Mexico eliminate some barriers for the USDA to control the pest at the border, asking them to waive custom duties on eradication equipment and eliminate restrictions on USDA aircraft that are out there helping to do what they do to combat the spread of screwworm to the north. But keep an eye on that this week, supporting your cattle market here. We got some new contract highs on your feeders and on your fats. Might be a good day to look at LRP. Roll that LRP map, and we will talk about that here. But LRP, great foundational risk management tool. If you're interested in it, now's a great time if you want to try something to go out there and protect risk, and dab your toe into risk management. LRP is a great foundational tool to do so. Subsidized government floor that settles to the cash feeder cattle index on your feeder cattle LRP. You can go protect the calves you got on the ground now, the calf crop you're running this summer, calves you'll sell this fall, or calves that you can maybe running on wheat, or even maybe born next spring. You can go out there and do some things with that to protect next year's calf crop out there. So good tools to look at. Hit us up and call us if you are interested in learning more about how it fits your operation. If you've got LRP on the books, with this market move, there might be some things you should be doing to manage and protect more equity as the market has moved higher since you originally bought it. So if you're interested in that, we're always open to talk about that stuff. So with that, corn, we'll see what the week folds ahead. Planting place and weather going to be key things. Going to be, regurgitate the same headline and tariff trade talk. I believe Secretary of the Treasury Secretary Bessent is scheduled to speak tomorrow morning, and they're talking like there's going to be some announcements with negotiations, tariff type stuff coming pretty soon. We'll see what comes to fruition. We'll see how the trade reacts, and we'll see how much you guys got done there out in the fields here over the last few days with that crop progress this afternoon. Keep an eye on your markets. Things are moving. Let us know how we can help you. With that, I'm going to get out of here and get on with my day. Have a great day. We'll see y'all.